Okay, Gerrit, thank you for your time today. Can you give us an overview of your organization and also your role within?
Yes, I work at Heering. It's a Dutch company. It's the only sole supplier of day-old chick transport, the only company that really focuses on that worldwide. And that is also let's say, the mission of the company, that we want to improve the conditions where day-old chicks are transported worldwide. So we serve customers worldwide. And my role in the company, I'm a poultry specialist. So my role is to view from the side of the chicken what they need for good transport, so good climate, but also other aspects. So my role is in innovation and in market development.
Right, and how do you collect and use data within your operations?
Yes, it is. If I focus on how we use the data within our trucks, then we have a system that, let's say, in the truck, we have to arrange the climate. So to arrange the temperature to the correct value, we also check humidity, CO2 level, and we collect all these data, and they are sent real time to a server, so we can have access to that, but also our customers which are normally the hatcheries. So they can see on any moment where the truck is, what the climate is, and also what the technical status of the truck is.
And do you use some form of an industry benchmark to measure the data?
As far as the climate itself is concerned, not really. Well, of course, there are standards or standards what the climate should be. What we are, in terms of benchmarks, we're looking a bit more at, let's say, the quality of the chicks, which is more difficult to measure. So we look at, for example, if there is any problem at arrival, but also what is the performance after 1 week, what is the mortality, what is the growth after 1 week. And we see that we can make a difference there, can make an improvement in the quality at arrival.
Right, and currently do you share your data with, say, other partners within the supply chain?
Exactly, yes. Well, of course we share it with our customers. That is quite logical. They partly share it with their customers. So our customers are the hatcheries, but they partly share it with the farms, which are their customers. So some of our customers make reports of every trip and in full transparency give it to their customers. But that's a minority of customers who's doing that. And what we do, because, for example, of limitations in privacy, this is data that can be of commercial interest, for example, so we are not open with it yet. What we like to do is to spread it, let's say, to use it in the whole supply chain. So to make use of data from preceding parts in the chain, but also send it to the farms and get back information from the chicks, let's say, how they perform in the farms. So then we think we can make even more progress.
And what are some of the greatest challenges that you have faced so far, with the collecting and also the sharing of data?
Yeah, there are some things to mention. You can say there is a technical issue on how to measure it and how to transform, or how to transmit those data. That's quite well under control. There is as I said, the openness, or you can say the privacy of the data is of course a limitation. We have a good trust relationship with our customers, so I cannot just show you online data, because then that could be that is limited. So that is one point. And the other thing is that we would really like to have more data sharing over the supply chain. And that is still a bit limited at the moment. Yeah. So that's I think the privacy, sharing the data over the chain, also getting back the data from the farms, but also to get more information from the hatcheries, for example. What type of chickens do we get? What is their weight? What is their history? Can we change something in transport to make them perform better? You can understand, for example, if the hatchery would have a batch of chicks from old parent stock, or maybe with some kind of problem or any issue, then if they are open about that, then the customer might not be happy or might claim, for example. So, but if you're not open, then in fact everybody is a loser. See, so that is losing from it. So the more we know and the more open we know it, the more we can do about it.
And how do you think we can make data sharing more effective within our chain?
I think there should be technically a kind of, let's say, a kind of platform, for example, and to avoid this privacy issue or this ownership issue, it should be owned by the group. So then you can also together decide, because if you get data, you get also power over it, let's say. So if you would have a kind of pilot group within the supply chain, so from maybe parent stock, hatchery, transport, farms, maybe even processing, and you would include all these different partners, then we could develop probably this data sharing to another level, which makes it also interesting to apply it more in practice. But at the moment I see still some limitations in the openness, let's say, in the transparency, which I can understand, but I think we should overcome it.
And how do you think you can potentially overcome that?
Yeah, I think if we could make, for example, if we could make a kind of pilot group, and we can show what the effects are, and also, let's say, to take away the fear of partners in the chain to blame each other, that you say, okay, I prefer to know what I get, because then I can respond on it. Still, imagine you have small chicks, and you should transport them or receive them in the farm at a little bit higher temperature. If you know it, you can do it. If you don't know it, you will not do it, and you'll get better or less good performance. See? So I think if it is a group that trusts each other, then we can show more results, and if there are more results, then we could convince other people to join in and to make that larger. We could think of other aspects to measure. For example, what do you think of hatching eggs and the vibrations on the road with the G-forces, for example? Well, we could link more. It's technically easy to measure more data, and then you could link it and try to find links with quality, and also with advice about how to work with this specific situation. What would be the optimal climate standards, or the optimal way to receive it in the farm? And things like chick quality are not so easy to measure, especially not in an automated way. So we should figure out how to do that, and then we can bring it all to a higher level.